Well, I'm excited to have my special guest, Ian McCutcheon. We're here to talk about the power of networking. So those of you that are nervous about networking, you're shy, or you make excuses like you don't have any time to network, Ian is here to answer those questions and to help you to get over those hurdles because we want you to succeed with no excuses. Right, Ian?
Absolutely. That's the whole purpose of this. And hopefully we can give you some tips on successful networking.
All right, awesome. Well, let's take it away. Ian, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. So Ian McCutcheon, live in North Oshawa. I work at Walton Restoration. They're a disaster restoration company in Oshawa. They've been around for over 40 years. Little history about me. I started in banking. That was my first career job. Tried it for a year. I just wasn't excited. Got into insurance adjusting, which was a little bit too much of excitement. Did that for 19 years, handled over 8,000 claims. But I found my niche in sales and marketing. That is, you know, I just never ever knew what I wanted to do. But when I found sales and marketing, I found that was what I was best suited for. It just made me satisfied. And, I helped to grow companies. I've worked for 3 different disaster restoration companies, helped them double the size. Worked for a cleaning company. I helped them grow as well. And so I guess you could call
Nice.
me a builder in some ways. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So tell me, how did you do that?
Well, you know what? I moved to the Durham region in 2006. I didn't know one person. So I started to go to networking events. First event was Whitby Chamber of Commerce, November 2006. Walked into a room, didn't know one person. At the end of it, I probably knew 3 or 4. And yeah, that's how it started. I was nervous. I was just, you don't know what you're walking into when you go to an event. You don't know who's going to
Yeah,
be there, how it's going to play out, but you have to start somewhere. And,
that's
I
right.
was, that's how anything in life starts. You have to try it out and take away some information, build some relationships. But yeah, so that's how it started for me.
Nice, nice. That kind of reminds me of myself when I first started in business. My first business was a window cleaning company, and I didn't know anything about, well, business in general, but networking and all that. I had no idea about that. And the first event I went to was a BNI event way back when. And I remember walking out of there with 13 leads, man, 13 new customers. And I thought, holy smokes, this was like amazing. And then I learned from there, and I'm sure you'll explain a little bit more about this, but I learned from there that the power of networking right there in that moment, it's not necessarily about what you know, it's about who you know. And from there, that's how my business grew. I started doing less advertising, traditional marketing, and more networking, attending events and stuff like that. So I think it's the same thing for you, Ian.
Yeah. That's it, is attending events on a regular basis, collecting information, know who your target market is,
Yeah,
basically, and following up. You get somebody's email. It might not be them who you do business with, but it might be somebody that they know. But if I find that we've built a somewhat of a good rapport in the meeting we attended, send them a quick email and say it was a pleasure to meet you. Look forward to meeting you in the future, and just see how it goes.
you hit something on the nail right there. When I'm working with my clients, one of the things that I really hit home to them is knowing who your target market or your ideal customer is. And so you mentioned that. How can you help someone to identify their ideal customer in a networking environment?
Well, I guess number one for me, we're in the disaster restoration business. So somebody that works for an insurance company, insurance broker, real estate agent, property manager, a facility manager. Those would be key people for me to meet. And if I was trying to help somebody else, I would ask them, what do you do? And what type of people would you be interested in meeting? So sometimes at
Yeah.
these events, I'm actually helping other people, not always myself. I might see maybe an electrician. He's looking to meet maybe a property manager, or he's looking to meet a business owner. So I think when you throw it out to the universe, when you help other people, it comes back to you.
Yeah, very much so. Business is all about serving, isn't it? That's really how your business grows, through when you serve others, it comes back to you.
Yes.
Like law of reciprocity.
Yes. Yeah. You walk into a room, you feel good, maybe put on some music. I just come in with a little bit of energy, excitement. Don't stand in the corner. Don't hang out with people you already know. You go there to meet new people. Right. It's good to say hello to the people you know, but if you've only got an hour and a half, you want to maximize your time.
Yes.
So that's a couple little tips right there. Make sure you have business cards. If you connect with somebody that you think is key, make sure you put that in a safe place, that business card in your wallet. Don't lose it. Sometimes you come out of an event with a stack of business cards, right? Yeah. I mean, you may come out with, a bunch of cards like this. You want to, people are digital. There could be QR code. Well, some people don't have business cards. Right. That's fine. But maximize your time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Some form of contact, that you're leaving the room with some form of contact from that person. Do you have a strategy in terms of how many hours or days after the event that you follow up or connect with the individuals that you met?
You know what? I try to do it. I try to do it the next day. So they just know that I was listening and that I'm serious about building a relationship. If somebody's trying to do business with me or the company I work for, and they come back, if they come back in 2 weeks or a month, well, they either got busy or they just didn't really, weren't serious. Right. So I try to do it the next day. Yeah. 48 hours. Right? Yeah, I'd say 48 hours max. If just show them you're interested. You don't have to, just a gentle touch. Hey, it was a real pleasure to meet you. Look forward to connecting very soon. That's it.
Yes, exactly. Rule of thumb for me that I teach my clients is within 24 to 48 hours. Because you're absolutely right, Ian. Like, you connect 2-3 months later. Well, first of all, who are you and why are you contacting me now, kind of thing, right? It kind of looks suspicious, like, what, because you're all out of leads, now you're going to start pressuring me with stuff. That could be the impression that's given, right? So I always say, between 24 to 48 hours, make sure you contact. And then, yes, you're absolutely right. Don't be like pushing your products and services on people. Just a touch, hey, it was a pleasure meeting you. That networking event was of value to me. I hope it was for you, or what'd you think about it? Getting a conversation going, would you say?
I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah. That's, like I say, within 24 to 48 hours, get back to them in a timely fashion, be professional and short and sweet. You don't have to leave them a paragraph. You probably, already
exactly
shared some information when you met face to face, right? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. One of the things I like to do, and I do personally, is because as going back to what we were talking about, Ian, about serving, right? Like you want to come from that angle of service. So for example, if I met you, I want to know, hey, Ian, what type of clients are you looking for? How can I help? What type of referrals can I send your way? Who's your ideal client? Like, asking the right kind of questions is extremely important, I'd say, right? Because it really shows that you're listening.
Yeah.
Right. And you care about the person, and you really authentically care.
Yes. Yeah. And I think the biggest mistake people make is they can't wait to give the other person their business card and it's all about them giving you
Yeah.
business cards. And you got to stop
Yeah.
right there, stop. And just what you said, get to know them. Where do you live? How's your business going? Do you have a family? Do you have any kids? Show some interest that you care about the person. And like you say, how can I help you? Who is your
Yes, it.
ideal client, or how can I give you referrals? What's the best means of me giving you referrals? You know what? You start off that way, give the person a compliment,
Yeah.
take initiative and control the conversation with asking them questions, get to know them and find out what they're like. Business will come
That's it.
down the
That's
road.
wonderful.
Yeah. I think I learned that from you, Mark.
That's one. Really?
Yeah. I think
Well,
so.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I learned a lot
Right.
from you.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a lot of nuggets here from Ian so far. Like, this is amazing. And I love what you just said a while ago. Like, yeah, folks, listeners, keep those business cards in your pocket for a little bit longer. Don't shove it. I hate that. Ian, I'm telling you, that's one of the things I hate right away. Any networking event I go to and the person's like ready to shove their business card in my face and you haven't even said a word to me, I'll take it, but that's pretty much it for me, right?
Yeah. I know
You
where
don't really
I know
care
where
about
that business
talking to me.
card's
You just
going.
want me. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. So if you're listening to this, networking is strategic. It's not about just getting into a room and selling yourself, selling your product, selling your service. It's about engaging, connecting, authentically, genuinely connecting with other people in the room so that you can serve others. And in turn, and I think this is exactly what Ian is saying, you will be served as a result.
Yes.
Yeah. What other mistakes would you say business owners make when networking?
I would say coming late to an event. If the
Mm,
event is say 5 to 7 p.m., if you show up at 5:30 or quarter to 6, you stand out, but you're not standing out in the right way. Things happen,
that's right.
traffic, maybe something happened at home. I understand that, but if you come earlier on time, I think you're more relaxed and you walk in. Why not try to be first, right? Try to be first. I think
Nice.
then you set the tone for the rest of the event. You're relaxed, you're comfortable. You can watch everybody else that walks into the room, right? Instead of being the one that comes in late and everybody notices, come early and
Right.
you can watch and maybe say, hey, I need to talk to that person. You can make a mental note. I think these are a couple of people here I need to talk to, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Be on time.
Be on time. Be
Yeah,
prompt.
that's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be prompt.
A wise man once said, if you're 15 minutes early, you're on time.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah. Especially if you have an
I've
interview,
heard that one.
right? If you have an interview and it's at
Yeah.
5 and you show up at 5, be early. Be early. Oh, and you may go to an event and you see the seating arrangement. So if you come early, you gotta be able to pick a spot where you gotta maybe get a good visual of the whole room. You could
Yes,
just you have more options when you get early.
that's
That's
right.
my
Yep. Yep.
that's a couple of other
Yeah, actually, that's a really good one. That's one thing that I do. I want to make sure that I'm in a good spot. Usually, most networking events, they ask you to get up and say 30 seconds, 60 seconds about who you are, what your business is about. And so I
yes.
would rather to be in a place where I can see at least most of the room, as opposed to my back is turned and, where I'm in a position where I'm in an awkward space and I can't really see everybody or everyone can't see or hear me properly. So I like what you said. Pick a spot that's comfortable and be strategic with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. You got any sort of like any success stories, like anything that stands out to you, Ian, where networking directly contributed to an opportunities for you?
Absolutely. Actually, I've got a number of them, but the latest one actually happened last Thursday. So the timing is perfect.
Mm,
I had
nice.
a bit. I had a busy Thursday. We were nominated for a couple of awards at the Whitby Chamber, the Peter Perry Awards. But I got invited to a insurance broker's open house, and I was like, should I go or should I not go? And you know what? I told them I would go. I need to go. So I showed up, and the largest insurance company in Ontario, one of the key people was there. And
Wow.
I got there early, and I was able to have a conversation. I followed up with an email the next day, Friday. He just got back to me today. And
Nice.
you know what? Right place at the right time. And sometimes when you're tired, you'd rather maybe go somewhere else or do something else. But I said, no, I said I would do it.
Yeah.
I did it. And like you say, you throw it out to the universe, it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So that could
Yeah.
potentially be huge, huge for our company. We currently do work with the number 2 insurance company, but this is not the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one
Well,
example,
that's
and
awesome.
that's fresh in my mind. You know, another story. I was it's funny. It seems like it's networking awards nights where good things happen when you get nominated for an award.
Yeah.
You don't always have to win to get some recognition. People will see your name up in the lights and they'll hear your name numerous times. But um, was at a Ajax Pickering Board of Trade event, 2016. Actually, the company I worked for, we won the award, and that was in October. The property manager for the Pickering Town Center was in attendance and made note of me and our company. And
Nice.
sure enough, in November, they were digging in the parking lot. They were building the theaters, and the company that was digging in the parking lot hit the water main, and the water main flooded 80 stores in the lower level of the Pickering Town Center. Well,
Yes, I remember that.
yeah, it was about this time, just before Santa Claus was going to be setting up downstairs. So this happened on a Monday morning, and I think the following Saturday they're going to set up the Santa Claus display, etc., and the retailers are gearing for Christmas. Anyway, I got the call, and there's 80 stores are flooded, and I was like,
Mm.
how'd you get my name? She goes, you won an award at the Ajax Board of Trade. I was there, and I made a note.
Look at
I'm
that.
like, wow. I mean, that was that was a huge opportunity, and we did very, very well. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. That's awesome.
you know, I think
Being
there's a
at
lot of
talk
time
about being at
you
the right
plan.
place at the
Yeah,
right time
that's too.
and on time.
And on time and answering the phone. Answering the phone. If I didn't pick up the phone,
That's true.
somebody else would have got the call. But like, who's calling me at 6 a.m.? Like, we get in that business, you get a call at 2 a.m, 4 a.m, whatever. Answer the phone.
Yeah, you
You
would.
never
Yeah.
know. Even if you don't recognize the number, don't. It's not always a scam. It could be business. And in the business that I'm in, you just don't know when Mother Nature or an act of mistake happens, and that can be a business in a big way.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Wow, that's
and at the
amazing.
time, and then I plant seeds, right? I go to events, and I walk in with a good attitude, and I may have met somebody 2 years ago, and they call me today, and they've got a flood. Like, I remember meeting you, and I kept your card. And it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Uh, so just planting seeds, go back and water them and plant seeds, right? And I built a pretty big database through, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and all the networking groups that I'm part of.
That so leads me into my next question. What are the top tips or some top tips that you would give with following up and staying in touch with new contacts evening after a network event?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good question. You have to have some type of tracking system because, the more people you meet, the more information you're going to bring back to your office. I would say following up initially after the first meeting within 48 hours, and then trying to set up another meeting and say, when would be a good time to meet for a coffee? Right. And then if they say, right now we're not looking, or it's not a good time, ask them when would be a good time. Could I follow up in 3 months? Right. But try to stay in front of the client as much as possible. Use the tools that your coach gives you. LinkedIn is a good tool. Facebook's a good tool. Instagram. And continue to go to events, right? Don't be comfortable and sit back and say, okay, I've been to all these events. I got all these cards. I'm going to wait for the phone to ring. You just got to keep going out, be consistent. Sometimes you got to meet somebody 5, 6 times. And then they go, you know what? People do business with people they like. And if you're consistent and you have a positive attitude, that can bring down some barriers, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
I've just tried to be just a happy, positive, no matter what was going on in my life, no matter how tired I was, no matter what was going on, I always tried to say, hey, I'm going to make this event count. I'm going to listen. I'm going to speak when I'm asked to speak, and I'm going to come away with at least one solid connection.
Mm-hmm.
That was my goal.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I take it that you would advise business owners have goals when they're networking.
I would say have a goal. Chances are you're spending some money going to events. You quickly have to sort the room and time with your target market. If you know who they are, read their name tags. You don't want to be kind of trapped in a room with people that just probably not going to do business with, or maybe they're in the same business as you, and try to find the target market. May only have short time to spend with them, but make the most of it. Like speed networking. You're with somebody for 2 minutes, then you move on, or they move you from table to table, right?
Yes.
And
right.
Yeah, so you try to maximize your time, and try to locate your target market audience that's at that event.
What would you say, Ian? How does, say, someone that is new to the world of networking, how would they find networking events? Do you have any tips on that?
Yeah, I would say go on the Whitby Chamber. They have an events calendar. The Ajax Pick and Board of Trade, they have events calendar. They have a Coffee Connect, which is free. Also, the Whitby Chamber has a Java Jolt. You could be a guest at a BNI chapter. Every Board of Trade, Chamber of Commerce has an event page, right? So you can find those events. You could also reach out to your circle of influence, or your circle of friends, and say, look, I'm thinking about going to this event. Anything you can tell me about it, right? So, you can maximize your time by going to some of these Coffee Connects. They're all doing a good job with connecting people. So yeah, go on the website of each individual company or Chamber of Commerce, Board of Trade, and see what's going on in November and December and January, et cetera.
Yeah. And I guess another good place would be Eventbrite. That might be a good place. You key in networking events in my area, and you should see, wherever you live, because a lot of our listeners will, to this podcast would be listening from wherever. Now, you just key in Eventbrite, your area, networking events near me, and you should find a list.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
And as we wrap up, what would you say to that person that says, I don't have any time to networking? No, I ain't got no time to network. What do you say to that person, Ian?
I say there's 24 hours in a day. And if you want to grow your business, I mean, if you don't want to grow your business, if you're fully satisfied, your bank account is full, then maybe you're too busy to have some fun or meet some new people. But
yeah,
here's what I do. I circle in my calendar the event that I've committed to. And if it's in my day timer, I'm going. I enjoy people. I get energy from meeting new people. And I have built a lot of good friendships, a lot of good relationships. But I just enjoy meeting new people and finding out what they're all about. And people know people who know people. So maybe this person is not somebody that can actually help me, but maybe they do know somebody. So you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know what it could lead to. So don't miss an opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and find the time to grow your business by going to events.
Yep. Well said. And then I guess I'd probably say if you are a business owner that you don't want to go to events, well, then maybe you hire someone that can go on your behalf. What do you say to that, Ian?
I would agree. I mean, if you were to talk to any successful business owner in Durham region, when they were first starting out, it was probably the owner operator that was doing it all. You know, they were building their team. They were the one going to events. They were the ones going out to do the jobs. They were just doing it all. But as time goes on, they should probably hire somebody to step into that role so they can actually run the business, right? Because
That's right.
you know, it is a time commitment. But if you want to grow your business, you know, you got to get out there in the community and talk to people, meet people, and word travels quickly, right?
Yes, exactly. It certainly does. Wow, Ian, this is awesome. And so those of you listening, I have a PDF that you can download. I'll put the link in there. 21 quality questions to ask when networking. This guide has helped a number of individuals to be able to be comfortable with questions, because sometimes that's another thing. People don't know what to ask, when they're working in a room, other than what do you do? So I'll have that info for you in the comment section of this podcast. And Ian, tell us, where can people find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is always a good way to start. I'm always happy
Yeah.
to help people. I like to see people have success. So don't be afraid to reach out, and we can have a cup of coffee.
Sounds good. So I'll also put Ian's contact, probably your LinkedIn. Is that probably the best,
Yeah, I think that's the
Ian?
easiest way to get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'll put that in the comment section. You can hit up with Ian and get some more tips and tricks on how to strategically network and connect in a networking environment. You've heard it here, friends. A lot of great nuggets that Ian has shared with us so that you can be an effective networker. Shake off the butterflies and get out there and network and work the room strategically. Be there, be on time, and work that room strategically. Ian, this is awesome.
So
Uh,